Hey guys, welcome to Punky's World. We are going to paint my nails. I'll pick that up after. Okay. That's the color. It's a sparkly brown. Okay. This nail polish, OPI, I have to do 2 coats, was actually lady called Grammy Clinton's favorite brand, and you used to only be able to get it in salons. And I remember going to the salon with her to get it, and that was the day that my what do you call it? My ovary twisted and my fallopian tube split. Just as I walked in there, I had to sit down because the pain was just unbelievable. And I already was hemorrhaging at that point. And so, and I'd had an ablation, so I shouldn't have been hemorrhaging. But, so I ended up at the hospital that evening. And they were kind of upset that I was given an ablation in my circumstances anyway. So, okay. Now, to try to explain what an ablation is. It's literally where they do a DNC, what the older ladies used to call a dusting and cleaning. But it's called dilation and curettage, or curettage, sometimes they call it. But dilation and curettage. Basically, what they do is they dilate your cervix and they clean out the uterine lining like one big period all at once. And they do that so it doesn't build up as much the next time, hopefully, and you don't have as long a period the next time or as heavy a period the next time. That's the hope with it. They also use it to end early pregnancies. It can be a form of an abortion to end an early pregnancy, which absolutely stinking not. Let these dry. I have to do some touch-ups. And so, not that I've had to worry about that. So it is a procedure that's used. It's used commonly, more so back in the day. That's why the old ladies routinely called it a dusting and cleaning. And but they just call it a DNC for short. And so I had that. He said he removed he did remove the polyp in my cervix, because he couldn't have dilated it if he didn't. It was right in the opening. It was causing extra bleeding that I did not need on top of the bleeding I was already having. And he said he removed the fibroid. A fibroid is a fibrous, thus named fibroid, benign tumor that grows in the uterus. They're extremely common and not removable, because usually they grow out of the muscle of the uterus, like the wall of the uterus, which I did not know until I went to the second doctor and he explained this to me. He showed me a picture. He said, yours is right in the wall, in the muscle. They cannot remove that. I said, well, I knew he lied to me, and that's why I didn't want to go back, because my doctor did another ultrasound because they were concerned about my ovary. And I said, I'm not going back to him because you're telling me I still have the fibroid he said he removed. So he may have removed it in the sense, no, he didn't. He didn't remove it at all. I was going to say maybe he removed part of it, but he didn't, because it was the size of a 5 months pregnancy. It was huge. And it was weird too, because, well, I'll get to that, but I had my, and I told the second doctor, I said, he told me that I had to have the ablation for insurance purposes. And he said, no. So once again, he lied to me. And he said, you're in a lot of pain. You're bleeding. And it's time. I think you are correct. It's time to do the hysterectomy. He said, I'm also going to take out your right ovary and fallopian tube. He just did not like what that ovary looked like. And I don't think he was convinced that it was a complex cyst. And it wasn't. And he told me that when he came in to see me after surgery. He said it was just huge. But it didn't come back as cancerous or anything. And it twisted, which torsion is something that does happen. It actually split the fallopian tube. Yeah, I can tell you exactly when that happened, as I was telling you guys a minute ago. As I nearly collapsed that night. And they didn't do an ultrasound or anything that night, or they would have found the torsion. They just did a pelvic exam. That's all. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But they were very nice. Had they done an ultrasound that night, I would have been in surgery that night, because torsion can result in lost blood flow to the ovary. The ovary was dead by the time I had my hysterectomy that summer. Yeah, there was no saving it. Here are my nails. I gotta grab that notebook once my nails are dry. Ooh, I messed up my thumbnail just a little bit. Anyway. There we go. I'm not worried about getting nail polish around the edges because I'm going to take a bath tonight. So, in a few hours. So, here we go. Gonna let these dry. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story. I think there's more on it on my health playlist. So listen to your body, listen to your instincts. Don't just take someone's word for it, even if that person has an MD in front of their name. Or at the back of their name, sorry. Because sometimes they don't know it all. You know what I mean? So So it's still funny though when doctors' offices, because it's on a different page, will ask me, when was your last menstrual cycle? I'm like, 14 years ago? Okay. Yeah. I had a hysterectomy and I'm now almost 52 years old. So chances are I haven't had a menstrual cycle in a couple of years anyway, even if I had a uterus. So, and if I did, they'd be bouncing all over the place at this point. So, but it's so funny when they ask me, I'm like, yeah, 15 years ago. Wow, that doesn't seem possible. But yeah, I had my hysterectomy 15 years ago. I had mine 2 weeks before I turned 37. My mother had hers at 39. I think, based on what I've seen in families, that they need to, and they don't do it because it's a female thing, see if there's a genetic component. Because we know there's a strong genetic component to female cancers. Is there a genetic component to other female health issues? Let me ask my buddy over here, see what he says. Let's ask Chet. Is there a genetic component to female issues such as fibroids, cystic ovaries, come on. Comma. Let's see. Uterine fibroids are, yeah, we know what they are. Women are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop them if their mother or sister had them. And they do have a gene mutation. PCOS. Irregular cycles. Um, they're polygenetic. Yes. Tell me. Okay. Huh. Here is something to note. There is some interesting research showing that certain gynecologic conditions and autoimmune diseases occur together more often than expected. Doctors do not believe this is a coincidence. There may be shared immune and genetic factors. Huh. That's interesting. So because I have autoimmune diseases, and so did my mother, autoimmune diseases predispose you to female health problems. The more you know, as NBC used to say. What was the sound? And the shooting star would fly by, and it would go, something like that. The more you know. If you're old enough to remember that, hit a like. I don't usually ask for a like, but I think that would be funny. To see how many people you're old enough to remember that. Well, this turned into more of a health video than a nails video, but that's okay. I had to have something to talk about while I painted my nails. So we'll put this under the cancer and other health conditions playlist. But that's fascinating. Thank you, Chat, or Chat GPT. My girlfriend and I call him Chat. That's interesting. So I'm gonna let my nails dry, and I gotta add a couple of things to this housing notes list. So. All right, I'm gonna do that. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And like I said, thank you for listening. Oh my goodness, I see the grass. Holy cow. I see the grass. I just noticed that. I turned my head and I could see grass. That's wild. So, but look forward to that unboxing tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.